Hi guys, welcome to HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for beginners. This lecture will be an introduction to our course. Let's begin. So, if you're new to programming and you don't know what does it mean, then let's have a quick discussion about what computer programming is. So, what is computer programming? Computer programming is the process of telling a computer to do certain things by giving it instructions, and these instructions are called programs. A person who writes these instructions is called a computer programmer. The instructions come in different languages, like the English language, like the German language, like the Spanish language, and these languages are called programming languages. Computers understand instructions directly if those instructions are written in machine code. And what machine code means that it is consisted of special characters that can be processed by the computer, but are difficult for humans to read and understand as well. The machine code is the computer's language. It's the computer's language that the computer understands. Writing these instructions directly in machine code takes a long time and is difficult. So, instructions are written in a language easier for people to use, which the computer converts it into computer form instructions, or in other words, machine code, so the computer can follow them and can understand them as well. Interpreters and compilers. Programs written in a language more like English are converted by a compiler. Some languages called interpreted languages use interpreters instead of compilers. So, what is the difference between an interpreter and a compiler? Let's see. Interpreter translates just one statement of the program at a time into machine code. But a compiler scans the whole program and translates the whole of it into machine code at once. An interpreter takes very less time to analyze the source code. The time to execute the process is much slower. But a compiler takes a very long time to analyze the source code, and the time to execute the process is much faster than the interpreter. An interpreter is used by programming languages like Python or Ruby, for example. Compilers are used by programming languages like C and C++. Programming languages we are taking in this course are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And these programming languages are the basic programming languages for building a website or a simple web page, for example. Other programming languages that are present in our whole world: Java, C#, C++, and Python. So, what do you need for this course? You need a computer, keyboard skills, a code editor like Visual Studio Code, Sublime Text, Atom, or Notepad. You can choose whatever you want, but I prefer to use Visual Studio Code, so we will be using it in this course. The most important thing you need is a web browser to display your web page in, like Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Microsoft Edge, and Safari. But I prefer to use Google Chrome, and this is the web browser that we are going to use in our course. So the code editor that we are going to use is VS Code, and the web browser is Google Chrome. Summary. In this lecture, you have known what computer programming is, what is meant by programming languages and machine code, the difference between an interpreter and a compiler, some of the programming languages and the ones that we are going to use in this course, which are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. What you will need in this course: some of the code editors that will help you and some of the web browsers. We will use Visual Studio Code for coding and Google Chrome for displaying our web page. Thank you for listening to me and thank you for watching our lecture. Goodbye.